Salut, salut. Hi everyone. Hola. Mi nombre es Herman y en esta video les voy a hablar de los verbos reflexivos. My name is Herman and in this video I will talk to you about the reflexive verbs. Mon nom est Herman, je m'appelle Herman et dans cette vidéo je vous parlerai des verbes réflexifs. This audio file is for week 3, leçon numéro 2. Semaine 3, leçon numéro 2. In this video, I will quickly explain what I previously said about the reflexive verbs, Verbes Réfléchis. So go ahead and open up the Word document on your computer. The lesson was originally posted in the virtual classroom on Yahoo. So members of the French community, well, yeah, go ahead and open up the Word file and we can work together on it. Les verbes réfléchis are verbs that describe an action that the subject does to himself or herself. So when you say in English, I cut a paper, in French, je coupe du papier, the verb cut here is not used in a reflexive manner because you are not doing the action cut to your own person. And by the way, don't do it because it hurts. But when you say, I cut myself, then you are using the verb cut in a reflexive manner. In order to turn cut into a reflexive verb, we used myself, and myself is a reflexive pronoun, so we need a reflexive pronoun to turn a verb into a reflexive verb. It may sound a little redundant, but this is what actually happens, right? We need a reflexive pronoun to turn a verb into a reflexive verb. In French, the same thing happens. Je coupe du papier. In this sentence, coupe wasn't used reflexively, but when you say je me coupe, me is the reflexive pronoun, and me replaces myself, and me makes coupe into a reflexive verb. And I provided a chart in the lesson in your Word file, and I listed all the different reflexive pronouns in French. Myself is me, yourself, te, himself, se, herself, se, ourselves, nous, yourselves, vous, themselves, se. But the actual meaning for myself is moi-même, yourself, toi-même, himself, lui-même, herself, elle-même, ourselves, nous-mêmes, yourselves, vous-mêmes, themselves, eux-mêmes, or elles-mêmes, depending on, you know, whether you're talking about girls or boys, right? Eux-mêmes for boys, men, or something that has a masculine gender, and elles-mêmes for something that has a feminine gender. So this is what myself actually means. Moi-même, yourself, toi-même. So when you say I cut myself, what you mean in French is je coupe moi-même. The contracted form for moi-même is me, toi-même, te, lui-même, se, elle-même, se. There is also, okay, lui-même and elle-même, there is also a neutral form for lui-même and elle-même, which is soi-même. But don't worry about it now. If the one talking, the subject talking is has a masculine gender, then use lui-même. If it has a feminine gender, then use elle-même, okay? And that will make things easier. And nous-mêmes, vous-mêmes for we, you, and they, okay? So they blame themselves, ils se blâment. They blame themselves, ils se blâment. Or ils blâment eux-mêmes. But ils blâment eux-mêmes is almost never used, right? Eux-mêmes will be contracted into se, so it will be ils se blâment. But you need to know what themselves actually mean, and themselves is eux-mêmes or elles-mêmes. I won't make things too complicated for you, so now you know. And another thing to notice, we always use the reflexive pronoun in French before the verb. It comes the reflexive pronoun in French comes before the verb. In English, it comes after the verb. I cut myself. Je me coupe. Me will come before coupe. Myself comes after cut. This is something you should notice. And another one is that in English, you don't always need to use a reflexive pronoun to talk about an action that you do to yourself. I give an example. I shave means that you cut your own beard, right? I shave every morning. But in French, if you say shave, to shave is raser, okay? To shave is raser. If you say in French, je rase, without adding a reflexive pronoun, well, people won't understand what you say. Je rase. What do you shave? This is what they're gonna ask you. What do you shave? Do you shave someone different from your own person, or do you shave yourself? So when you mean that you shave yourself, that you cutting your own beard, you should say je me rase. I shave will be je me rase. But in English, we don't need to use I shave myself, right? It would be kind of redundant here. I shave is understood by everyone that you're shaving yourself, right? So there are many words like that in French where you need to use a reflexive pronouns. Je m'habille, I get dressed. But I get dressed, there's no sign of any reflexive pronoun here. It's not I dress myself, right? You just say I get dressed. What else? You can say I shave, I take a shower. I take a shower. In French, you will say je me douche. Je me douche. I take a shower. So anything in French that shows that you're doing something to your own person, go ahead and use the corresponding reflexive pronoun. This is how you form a reflexive verb in French. Okay, and I gave you a list of actions that we do daily, like je m'habille, je me rase, je me douche, je me réveille. Je me réveille is I wake up. You see, you wake yourself up in French. This is what it means literally. You wake yourself up. So you say I wake myself up, je me réveille. Because if you say in French I wake up, it can mean that you wake someone up or you wake yourself up. So you don't want any you don't want to leave it too ambiguous. So you say je me réveille, to make sure that you're talking about yourself. Anything you do to yourself, make sure you use a reflexive pronoun before the verb. And we will know what these reflexive pronouns are. Me, te, ce, nous, vous, ce. And we also know that those reflexive pronouns are the contracted forms for moi-même, toi-même, lui-même, elle-même, nous-mêmes, vous-même, eux-mêmes, elles-mêmes. And when you say I cut myself, you actually mean je coupe moi-même. Okay, but in a more refined French, you will say je me coupe. This is the end of our lesson. We only have 10 minutes, so I can't talk for more than that. I had a real pleasure doing this lesson, and I hope you enjoyed it too. I talk to you in about 3 days for another lesson. The next exam 3, will be posted on Sunday, September 9th. So make sure you review the reflexive pronouns. And what did we do before that? We did the verbs. Yeah, we did the verbs of the first group, ER, like parler, manger, danser, donner, demander, poser. Okay, so you can review these verbs, and I will also include some questions from the previous lessons, week 1 and week 2. Ok guys, au revoir et merci, à bientôt. Bye. Hasta pronto. Bye.